Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is Broku, and today's video is talking about Magna, and this has to do with the recent chapter, Black Clover chapter 248. This has caused a stir in the community. I made a tweet about it. I think at this point, about half people agree with me, half people disagree with my stance on this, because Magna was stated to be stage 5, and in my opinion, and it's kind of backed up by what's happened in the series so far, Magna should be higher than stage 5 based on how stages are kind of built up to work. Now, previously in Black Clover, everything was just scaled by, oh, this person's magic power is insane, oh, this person's magic type is insane. Stages were seemingly introduced to give somebody's overall magical talent, mana amount, and magical skill, mana control, and combining that, because that's kind of what Black Clover is. It's not only how much magic you have, it's how much magic control you have. That's why stages were seemingly the next progressive advancement of the power system. Control times amount equals your stage. And I get why so many people are disagreeing with me on this, because almost every single time the person who's disagreeing with me, they say, well, it makes sense for Magna to be low stage because he has a low amount of magic. Now, yes, if stages are just about magic amount, I have no qualms with Magna being a stage 5. In fact, this might even very well be the case just based on what Gaja says. Gaja says, I thought so. This one's mana is too low. You're about stage 5. To handle a raise in combat, you have to be at least stage 3. So he directly states that Magna's mana is too low to use a raise with stages, but this is inconsistent with how stages have been portrayed and stated by a higher authority. The magical water spirit Undyne, who should have a vast wealth of knowledge of magic and how it works in the series, says that stages are magical talent and magical skill. Now this would mean mana amount and mana control. Talent is inborn, which would be how much mana you're born with. Skill is what you do, how hard you work, what you develop. That should be mana control. And that directly goes against what Gaja says, where he just says that Magna's mana was too low. So, kind of like I already said, if it's just mana amount, it makes sense for Magna to be stage 5. But if it's mana control, and maybe even mana sensing as well, then Magna being stage 5 makes absolutely zero sense in the series. So, Magna, just remember, he is a rival to Luck. If Luck is much higher stages than Magna, they should not be rivals. Because even though Luck would defeat Magna in a fight, even before the time skip, Magna was still always relative to Luck. In fact, it's even stated that Magna was more durable than Luck. Their durability is still similar because Magna attacks Elf Luck, and Elf Luck gets damaged, Magna gets damaged as well. It just basically, also, it just doesn't make any sense based on what has been built up just in the series. Not even just statements, but in the series. If stages were all about magic amount, why wasn't Noelle a stage 1 in base form? Why wasn't Noelle a stage 0 with Valkyrie armor? She has the most mana, or at least probably some of the most mana in the series. She has as much mana as Julius, as much mana as Asier. She has more mana than Fauna as an elf. So more mana than a elven apostle, and all the apostles are stated to have more magic power than all the captains. So you have Noelle having more mana than all the captains. So if that's the case, why is she, weak in the series? It's because stages should be mana amount and mana control, not just mana amount. And a lot of these people are saying that, a lot of these people that say, well, stages are magic amount, well, if that's the case, then, well, the thing is, a lot of these people also believe that mana doesn't grow in the character. That the only thing they can do to get better is mana control. Yet, if that were the case, this statement makes no sense from Gaja. Lady Mimosa has also grown to 3rd stage. So, if stages are just mana amount like a lot of these people are saying, and yet mana can't be grown you can only control mana or increase your mana control, and then that's how you increase your overall power. This is a statement backed up by Kirsch. Although there is conflicting statements in the series, there is some evidence showing you can increase your mana, some saying you can't. But these people who believe that you can increase your mana, well, how would Mimosa increase her stages if stages are based on mana amount? It's because they're not. Well, at least in the beginning they weren't. If they are now, then it's just an inconsistency. Tabata might be changing things. We don't really necessarily know. But, like I said, yeah, if stages were purely mana based, Noelle should be stage 0 from the very beginning of the series. But she isn't, because she didn't have the control over it. So, just based on all of that, it's showing inconsistencies with how stages have been portrayed. Gaja, oh, Magna, your mana's too low, you can't do this. So that's an inconsistent thing. Whereas Laura Pachica or Undyne, who is a greater authority or should be a greater authority than Gaja, she states that it's not just your magic amount, it's talent and skill. And if that's the case, Magna is way more skillful than people actually think. He has a 4 out of 5 in magic control stated in the guidebook. Actually, and that would be a skill. And luck only has a 3 out of 5 in magic control. So according to the guidebook, Magna is more skilled at magic control than luck. And now this also comes into my next explanation of how to explain this. So, let's compare magic to muscles, right? When you lift weights, you're recruiting muscles to do the work for you because it's your own body. But and the first phase of training is called stabilization training. It's where you do lighter weights for higher repetitions, and you try and put yourself in an environment where you have to remain, or it's a bit more of a challenge to maintain your balance and posture. So maybe you'll do dumbbell bench press on a medicine ball, or a stabilization ball, This will make it so it improves your balance, posture, and it recruits more muscles throughout your body, so that once you get to actually training on doing a barbell on the flat bench press, well, you are recruiting your more muscles because you've done the stabilization training. So let's say that just in terms of magic equals muscles, luck has more muscles, or magic, but he can control less, whereas Magna has less muscles, or magic, but he can control more of it. This is what helps Magna maintain his rivalry with luck. It's not only just that, he's also pretty skilled. He's made those disappearing fireballs, and so that's one thing that also keeps him in the loop. But luck has higher magic, way higher mana sensing, but Magna has more control, yet Magna is maintained to be a rival. Now we'll go with feats and scaling and such as stuff like that. So luck is a stage 1 after the time skip, but let's just compare Lufuru to Magna. Now, a lot of people get mad at me for even bringing this up, but it just makes perfect sense. Lufuru in his base form, not when he uses the Halo and completely shits on Magna and Vanessa and even is doing well against Black Asta. I'm talking about Lufuru in his base form. He's an Elven Royal Knight. Remember, luck is pretty beastly in the Royal Knights tournament. Imagine he gets Elven mana, he gets much stronger. And yeah, when Magna fights him, he does need Vanessa's aid when it comes to his movement speed. But when it comes to his attack speed, he can hit Magna. When it comes to, or he gets close to hitting Magna. And when it comes to just attack potency, he can hit and damage luck. He can hit and damage luck. So Magna actually damaged luck to the point where he could restrain him, and then luck got his rage power boost and broke out of it, and that's when he got that weird halo on his back. So Magna should a stage 5 be able to do that to luck, who is at the very least should be a stage 2 at the very least. Does that make any sense? That base luck, remember this is base elf luck, base Lufuru, he no-diffed a defensive combo spell from Noelle and Kirsch, a vice captain, and Noelle a royal. A combo spell. Remember, vice captains are stage 2. That's why I put base Lufuru at stage 2. And yet Magna's a stage 5. And then probably the full power Lufuru is probably a stage 1. But the thing is that when you go also into the tournament arc, Magna was actually forcing Asta to go and use his black form, or he would have rather, but Asta didn't have the ability to use black form yet because he had just used it. So remember, Magna was giving Asta a huge trouble, and this is the same base Asta who is much stronger than the base Asta, who is going against Ladros, a Diamond General, and a strong Diamond General. So Magna being stage 5 again does not make sense. It just doesn't. And a stage 5 going against somebody who's at least a stage 2 and holding his own for a while, and then people say, oh, well, Vanessa was helping him. I don't care that Vanessa was helping him, because it's also displayed that if somebody is much stronger than somebody, the whole point of introducing these stages was that if somebody's a high stage, they can take on dozens of mages at once with no difficulty. It's shown that with Xeno, when Xeno is stage 0. Xeno fights 2 Diamond Generals, so 2 stage 1 mages, who had dozens of mages in backup, and yet he no-diffs them all. And then when Leo and Luck, they attack the Spade base, they say that they don't have a chance against stopping them because nobody on that base is above a stage 2. So, stage 2s are going to do nothing to Leo and Luck, who are stage 1s. Alright? So that's again why I'm saying that these stages, if Magna is a stage 5, and a bunch of stage 2s who outnumber 2 stage 1s can't do anything to them, then how is Magna a stage 5 doing anything to a stage 2? Like I said, there's just inconsistencies with how stages are. In my opinion, Magna should be at the very least, or I'm not going to say the very, I think the best stage to put Magna at would be a stage 3. Now, this would make sense because, and if you just compare him to Finral, 3 to 5 magic amount, 4 to 5 magic control. Magna, 3 to 5 magic amount, 4 to 5 magic control. So, they have the same tier of magic amount and magic control, yet Finral's 2 stages above Magna. And then we can get into the fact that Magna actually adapted in battle to the full power Lefuru. When Lefuru went full power, Magna was able to adapt and start reacting to his attacks. His attack speed were still close to Lefuru. So the fact that Magna's attack speed and his reactions were working against full power Lefuru, who was faster than Black Asta and the Elf Arc, really, stage 5 does not make sense for Magna. Like, it just doesn't. Now, if stage 5 is just magic amount, or if stages are just magic amount, it makes sense, because then that's just their magic amount. It doesn't factor in the magic control, which means despite a low level of mana Magna, they could still keep up with these characters. But if stage 5 is magic amount and magic control, it doesn't make an ounce of sense. It really doesn't. And that's why, like I said, there's inconsistencies. Gaja implies it's just magic amount. Lord Pachika implies the opposite. It's magic amount and magic control. So, it's kind of, like I said, Magnus being stage 5 doesn't make sense. Stage 4, I would be, less weirded out by it. Stage 3 would make the most sense for Magna, honestly. I mean, like I said, Lefuru and his base form was stage 2 at the very least. He went against a vice captain and a royal, a combo spell, and just completely destroyed it. And then Magna was able to damage that Lefuru. And then, so, it's just, these stages, man, I'm not going to dog on them too much yet, because maybe they'll be explained more, but I'm just done with people calling me an idiot for defending Magna. Like, if Undyne says one thing and Gaja says the other thing, okay, sure. Maybe if it's just magic amount, like I said, if it's purely magic amount, I keep saying this because it's what I believe. If it's just magic amount, Magna's stage makes sense. If it's magic overall, like magic amount and your mana control put together, it doesn't make any sense. Because then, if Magna's a stage 5, why was he able to hold his own against Lefuru? And then people say, well, oh, it's never stated that a lower stage can do much to a higher stage. Well, while there are examples of this happening, like, sure, Noel, Finral, and Mimosa did do something against Gaja, although it really wasn't much. But then again, that was using advantage of Finral's spatial magic, and Mimosa, that was just ultimate teamwork, and they still didn't really do much to him. Yet, then you have the Luck and Leo where, oh, nobody above you's a stage 2? You ain't taking us down, even though it's an entire spade base. And then you have 2 stage 1s, and then a dozen of soldiers supporting them against 1 stage 0. And that was Xeno before the 6-month time skip. He trained for that 6 months. So it's a much weaker Xeno than what we saw attack the Golden Gone. So, again, inconsistencies here. A stage 5 should not be able to do that to a stage 2 and then a stage 1. And, again, there's inconsistencies. But then again, I'm going to take the Undying's word over Gaja's. The Undying has been through hundreds of years of different queens of the Heart Kingdom, and she would know more than Gaja. And maybe Gaja has a prejudice to people with low mana, or commoners, or peasants. And also, he might just be wrong. But stage 5, in my opinion, like I said, does not make sense for Magna. This is all the evidence I put together. There's all the inconsistencies here. Stages should be Magic Amount and Magic Control, and if that's the case, Magna should be above of stage 5. It also makes no sense for what he did against Lufuru. But that being said, guys, that's it for the video. Let me know your thoughts down below. Hope you guys all have an amazing day. Plus...